Long before Jackass Fireworks became one of America's largest fireworks companies, it was simply a dream shared by two people, Johnny Marietta and his wife Helen Marietta. The year was 1938. America was still recovering from the Great Depression. Millions of families were struggling. Jobs were difficult to find. Money was scarce. Starting a business during such uncertain times seemed almost impossible. But Johnny believed that every celebration deserved something unforgettable: fireworks. He noticed that people gathered every summer to celebrate holidays, family reunions, county fairs, and community festivals. No matter how difficult life became, people still wanted moments of happiness. They still wanted to celebrate. Johnny saw an opportunity where others saw risk. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, he decided to create it. With very little money, Johnny and Helen purchased a small supply of fireworks. There were no large warehouses, no distribution centers, no national advertising, no investors, only a tiny roadside stand built behind their family home in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Every dollar they earned mattered. Every customer mattered. Johnny worked long hours setting up the stand. Helen greeted customers with a warm smile. Together they unloaded boxes, organized shelves, counted inventory by hand, cleaned the stand every evening. After each sale, they carefully saved every dollar they could. They couldn't afford mistakes. If the fireworks didn't sell, the family could lose everything they had invested. During the first seasons, business was far from easy. Some days only a handful of customers stopped by. Other days it rained. Sometimes entire weekends passed with disappointing sales. The business depended almost entirely on holidays like the 4th of July. Outside the holiday season, income nearly disappeared. Most people would have given up. Johnny and Helen didn't. Instead, they focused on something larger than quick profits. They focused on trust. They wanted every customer to return the following year. Johnny carefully explained how to use fireworks safely. Helen remembered returning customers by name. Families appreciated the personal service. Word slowly spread across the community: if you need fireworks, go see the Mariettas. Little by little, the business began growing. Each successful season allowed them to reinvest. Instead of spending profits on luxury, they bought more inventory, expanded the selection, improved the stand, added new products. Every dollar earned went back into the business. Johnny believed one simple idea: small improvements every year become big success over time. That philosophy shaped the future of Jackass Fireworks. The family quickly realized something important. Customers weren't simply buying fireworks, they were buying memories. Birthday celebrations, Independence Day, family reunions, wedding parties, community festivals. Every firework became part of someone's happiest moments. That emotional connection created loyal customers. Soon people weren't traveling only from nearby neighborhoods. They began driving from surrounding towns. The tiny fireworks stand became a local destination. Johnny constantly searched for better products. He studied different manufacturers, compared quality, learned which fireworks customers loved most. He believed quality mattered more than selling the cheapest products. That decision built the company's reputation. Even in those early years, Johnny wasn't thinking like a seasonal salesman. He was thinking like an entrepreneur. He wanted to build something that could survive for generations. Helen shared the same vision. She wasn't simply helping her husband. She was building the business alongside him. Together they handled nearly every job themselves: sales, inventory, cleaning, customer service, bookkeeping, ordering supplies. Long before sunrise, they were already preparing for another day. Long after sunset, they were still planning the next season. There were no shortcuts, no overnight success, only years of consistent hard work. Looking back today, few customers visiting Jackass Fireworks realize how modest everything once was. No giant warehouses, no massive retail stores, no millions of dollars in annual sales. Only one husband, one wife, one tiny fireworks stand, and one enormous dream. Neither Johnny nor Helen could have imagined that their small roadside business would eventually become one of the largest fireworks retailers in the United States. But every great company begins the same way, not with millions of dollars, not with hundreds of employees, but with one brave decision: to begin. The little roadside stand behind the Marietta family as home was no longer just a seasonal project. Year after year, more customers arrived. Families returned every summer. Friends told friends. Neighbors recommended the Mariettas to everyone they knew. Johnny and Helen realized something important. The business was no longer surviving. It was growing. Every successful 4th of July brought more revenue than the year before. Instead of spending the profits on themselves, they reinvested almost everything back into the company. More inventory, more fireworks, larger storage buildings, better displays, improved customer service. Every dollar had a purpose. Every season was another opportunity to grow. Johnny believed that businesses weren't built in a single year. They were built one customer at a time, one decision at a time, one season at a time. Soon, the tiny stand behind the family home could no longer handle the growing demand. The Mariettas needed more space, more products, more employees. What had once been a family operation run by 2 people slowly became a real company. Relatives joined the business, trusted friends were hired, seasonal workers helped during the busiest weeks of the year. The company became known not only for selling fireworks but for treating customers like family. Every visitor received advice, safety instructions, recommendations based on their budget. Johnny wanted every family to leave with a smile. That reputation became one of JCA's greatest advantages. While competitors focused only on making sales, the Mariettas focused on building relationships. Customers noticed the difference. Many returned every single year. Some families bought fireworks from Johnny for decades. As demand increased, Johnny also realized another challenge. Buying fireworks through middlemen was expensive. If he wanted the company to keep growing, he needed better prices, higher quality, and more control over inventory. So the family began working directly with manufacturers. It wasn't easy. It required building new business relationships, learning how international trade worked, negotiating prices, managing shipping, handling customs regulations. Every new step carried financial risk. One mistake could cost thousands of dollars. But Johnny believed taking calculated risks was part of building a successful company. Slowly, the strategy worked. Buying directly from manufacturers reduced costs. The company could offer customers better prices, a larger selection, and higher quality products. Every improvement attracted even more customers. The business expanded beyond simple retail sales. Local organizations, community festivals, churches, schools, county fairs, businesses planning celebrations. They all began purchasing fireworks from the Mariettas. Wholesale orders became another important source of income. Instead of selling only to individual families, JCA's Fireworks was now supplying organizations across the region. Revenue continued climbing. The company invested in larger warehouses, better inventory systems, delivery equipment, transportation. Each improvement made the business more efficient. By now, Johnny and Helen weren't just running a fireworks stand. They were managing a growing enterprise. The next generation of the Marietta family also became involved. Children grew up watching the business, learning how to help customers, unload trucks, organize inventory, understand that success required hard work. For the Mariettas, JCA's Fireworks wasn't simply a company. It was part of the family. Every generation added something new. New ideas, new energy, new ambitions. As America entered the post-war economic boom, consumer spending increased. Families celebrated more holidays. Neighborhood fireworks displays became increasingly popular. Demand continued rising across the country. The Mariettas were ready because they had spent years preparing while others waited. By the 1950 hours and beyond, as the years passed, the small family business continued growing. What Johnny and Helen Marietta had started with one tiny fireworks stand was now entering a completely new era. That transformation was led by the next generation, Mick Marietta. Growing up around the business, Mick had spent his childhood unloading boxes, helping customers, organizing inventory, and watching his parents work from sunrise until late at night. He learned one lesson early. Success wasn't created during the busiest holiday. It was built during the quiet months when nobody was watching. When Mick officially joined the company, he brought new energy, new ideas, and a much bigger vision. He believed JCA's Fireworks shouldn't remain just another local fireworks retailer. It could become one of the biggest fireworks companies in America. That dream required taking risks, bigger risks than the family had ever taken before. Instead of buying fireworks through wholesalers, Mick wanted Jackass Fireworks to import directly from manufacturers. At the time, very few companies were doing it on a large scale. It meant traveling overseas, meeting factory owners, negotiating contracts, learning international shipping, managing customs, paying for entire shipping containers months before they would ever be sold. If one shipment failed, the company could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. If several shipments failed, years of hard work could disappear. But Mick believed that controlling the supply chain would allow Jackass Fireworks to compete with anyone. He traveled across Asia, building relationships with manufacturers who specialized in professional fireworks. Instead of buying products through middlemen, Jackass Fireworks now worked directly with factories. That decision completely changed the business. Costs became lower, product quality improved. The selection became much larger. The company could even develop exclusive fireworks that customers couldn't buy anywhere else. Soon, enormous shipping containers began arriving at Jackass warehouses. Each container carried thousands upon thousands of fireworks. Every shipment represented another huge financial investment, but every successful season brought even greater returns. As imports increased, the company expanded again. Small seasonal stands became permanent retail stores. Large showrooms displayed hundreds of different fireworks. Customers no longer had only a few choices. They could choose from rockets, Roman candles, mortars, multi-shot cakes, fountains, firecrackers, family packs, professional displays, and exclusive Jackass Fireworks products. The shopping experience itself became part of the excitement. Families traveled long distances just to visit Jackass stores. The company also entered the wholesale business on a much larger scale. Instead of selling only to individual customers, Jackass Fireworks began supplying independent fireworks retailers across the United States. Hundreds of stores purchased inventory from Jackass, then thousands. Every summer, trucks loaded with fireworks left company warehouses for destinations across America. Revenue continued climbing year after year, millions of dollars. Then tens of millions. The company invested heavily in infrastructure, larger warehouses, modern distribution centers, forklifts, inventory management systems, transportation fleets. Everything was designed to move enormous quantities of fireworks safely and efficiently. Safety became one of the company's highest priorities. Handling fireworks wasn't like selling ordinary products. Strict federal regulations had to be followed. Employees received specialized training. Warehouses were carefully designed. Transportation required detailed planning. Every shipment had to meet safety standards. Jackass Fireworks earned a reputation not only for offering exciting products but for operating responsibly. Meanwhile, marketing became another powerful advantage. The company invested in colorful catalogs. Every successful company reaches a moment when it must choose: stay the same or evolve. For Jackass Fireworks, that next chapter was led by the fourth generation of the Marietta family. Jacob Marietta, he grew up surrounded by fireworks, warehouses, delivery trucks, holiday rushes, family meetings, and the lessons passed down from Johnny, Helen, and Mick. But Jacob understood something different. The world was changing. Customers were changing. Technology was changing. If Jackass Fireworks wanted to remain an industry leader, the company needed to modernize, not slowly, but aggressively. Instead of relying only on seasonal roadside stands, Jacob invested in large, modern retail stores, bright showrooms, professional displays, interactive shopping experiences. Hundreds of products organized by category. Families could spend hours exploring the stores. The goal wasn't simply selling fireworks. It was creating an experience customers would remember. At the same time, the company's logistics became far more sophisticated. Massive distribution centers replaced many older storage facilities. Thousands of pallets filled enormous warehouses. Millions of fireworks moved through the company's supply chain every year. Modern inventory systems tracked every product, every shipment, every pallet, every sales location. Computers replaced handwritten inventory books. Barcode systems improved accuracy. Forklifts and automated equipment increased efficiency. The business could now handle far greater demand than ever before. International trade also expanded dramatically. JCAS Fireworks continued importing huge quantities of fireworks directly from manufacturers across Asia. Each year, dozens then hundreds of shipping containers crossed the Pacific Ocean carrying products for American customers. Managing international imports became one of the company's greatest strengths. But it was also one of its biggest risks. Every container represented a major investment, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Payment often had to be made months before products even arrived. Ocean freight costs constantly changed. Fuel prices increased. Global supply chains became unpredictable. One delayed shipment could affect the busiest sales season of the entire year. Jacob and his team worked closely with suppliers, freight companies, customs officials, and logistics specialists around the world. Planning often began almost a full year before customers purchased a single firework. Nothing could be left to chance. Technology became another powerful advantage. JCAS Fireworks invested heavily in online sales. Its website became one of the largest fireworks shopping platforms in the United States. Customers could browse hundreds of products, watch demonstration videos, compare effects, read safety information, plan entire fireworks shows before visiting a store. The internet allowed JCAS Fireworks to reach customers far beyond its physical locations. Digital marketing also transformed the company. Professional videos, email campaigns, social media, educational content, holiday promotions, product demonstrations. Every platform helped introduce millions of people to the JCAS Fireworks brand. The company wasn't simply selling fireworks anymore. It was building a nationwide community of loyal customers. Customer service remained one of the company's biggest priorities. The Marietta family never forgot how the business had started, with one small roadside stand, one customer at a time. That philosophy never disappeared. Employees received extensive training, questions were answered patiently, safety remained the company's highest priority. Every recommendation focused not only on excitement but also on responsible celebration. Behind the scenes, the business became increasingly complex. Insurance, federal regulations, state laws, transportation permits, hazardous materials management, warehouse inspections, employee training. Every part of the operation required careful planning. Few people realized how much work happened long before fireworks ever reached store shelves. JCAS Fireworks also developed exclusive private label products. Instead of selling only fireworks made by other companies, they worked with manufacturers to create unique effects and branded collections available only through JCAS. This strengthened customer loyalty and improved profit margins. Financially, the company continued growing into one of America's largest fireworks retailers and importers. Its business generated tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. Peak holiday seasons brought enormous sales. Thousands of customers visited stores every day before Independence Day. Millions more interacted with the company online. The Marietta family had transformed a tiny roadside fireworks stand into a modern nationwide business, one built on logistics, technology, international trade, customer experience, and decades of family leadership. But despite all the warehouses, the modern stores, the global imports, and the millions of dollars in annual sales, the heart of the company had never changed. It was still built on the same belief Johnny and Helen had embraced back in 1938. Help people celebrate life's biggest moments, and they'd come back year after year. That simple idea had carried JCAS Fireworks through for generations, and it would become the company's greatest legacy. More than 8 decades after a small fireworks stand first opened behind the Marietta family home, JCAS Fireworks had become one of the largest fireworks companies in the United States. Millions of customers, modern retail stores, massive distribution centers, international imports, online sales, exclusive product lines, and a business generating tens of millions of dollars in revenue every year. But the most remarkable part of the story wasn't the money, it was the people behind it. For generations, one family, one vision. It all began with Johnny Marietta and Helen Marietta, two ordinary people who believed they could build a better future. They didn't start with investors, they didn't inherit a fortune, they didn't own a giant company. They started with a tiny roadside stand, a few boxes of fireworks, long working days, and an unshakable belief that honest work would eventually pay off. Many businesses never survived their first generation. Jackass Fireworks did. Then came the second generation. The family continued expanding what Johnny and Helen had started. Each year brought new challenges, new opportunities, and bigger dreams. Then Mick Marietta helped transform the company into something much larger. He looked beyond local sales. He built relationships with manufacturers, expanded imports, created larger retail operations, strengthened wholesale distribution, and helped turn Jackass Fireworks into one of America's most respected names in the fireworks industry. Many companies stopped growing after reaching success. The Marietta family didn't. The next generation refused to become comfortable. Instead, they kept asking one question: how can we make this company even better? That mindset eventually brought Jacob Marietta into leadership. He embraced technology, modern logistics, digital marketing, online shopping, advanced warehouses, international supply chains. While the business became larger, the family's core values remained exactly the same. Treat customers honestly, sell quality products, respect employees, never stop improving. Those values became more valuable than any warehouse or retail store. Over the decades, Jackass Fireworks celebrated incredible success. The company became one of the nation's leading fireworks importers and retailers. Its products reached customers across the United States. Its warehouses handled millions of fireworks every year. Its stores became destinations for families celebrating Independence Day, birthdays, weddings, graduations, and community festivals. But success never arrived overnight. It came through thousands of small decisions, early mornings, late nights, financial risks, economic uncertainty, changing markets, competition, and decades of consistent effort. The Marietta family proved something many entrepreneurs forget. Businesses aren't built only with money, they were built with trust. Customers trusted Jackass Fireworks, employees trusted the company, suppliers trusted the Marietta family. That trust became one of the company's greatest assets. Today, Jackass Fireworks continues serving millions of customers. Every holiday season, families gather under the night sky. Children watch fireworks with amazement. Parents create lifelong memories. Communities celebrate together. Few people realize that behind those beautiful explosions stands a family whose journey began nearly a century ago with one simple stand beside a house in Kansas. Johnny and Helen probably never imagined that their tiny business would survive for generations. Yet it did, because every generation chose not to protect the past but to build the future. That may be the greatest lesson of Jackass Fireworks. Success isn't measured only by revenue, or warehouses, or the number of stores. Real success is creating something strong enough that your children, your grandchildren, and even your great-grandchildren can continue building upon it. Jackass Fireworks proves that a family business can compete with the biggest companies in America, not because it started with the most money, but because it never lost the values that created it: hard work, integrity, long-term thinking, continuous improvement, and genuine passion for what you do. Every great company begins with a single decision: to start. Every lasting company survives because people refuse to quit. The Marietta family turned a few boxes of fireworks into a business worth millions of dollars. Their story reminds us that success doesn't happen in one season. It is built across generations, one customer, one family, one dream at a time.